All right, Brad, we're back. There is so much to know about when we are not only designing countertops in hard surfaces, but actually selecting how it's going to look. Like, we think it's all about the stone, but a lot of it is what you do with that stone to get it to have that certain characteristic and also to bring it to life. So the application is the key component, is that correct?
I would say one of them for sure.
Okay, so an application we're talking about, and in this showroom you have a wonderful display of all of it, but there are times when it's not your typical, here's your slab and let's just put it on top of your countertop. So when we have a surface like this, how is that applied?
Well, so for example, this one, it's made to look like it's around 6 inches thick.
Yeah.
The slab itself is 3/4 of an inch thick, or 2 cm, 2 centimeters. And then we actually take and we cut and we miter those edges to actually be able to fold them down and actually give it the appearance that it's thicker than it really is.
I love it. Now, it looks really heavy. So I know it's not sitting there by itself. There's something called a substrate, right?
Sure.
You have to put it on top of something. How does that work?
So I think in this case, we have what's underneath there as well. First, we have some metal supports, support brackets that are actually carrying a lot of the weight. And then we actually adhered some cement board to the underside and some plywood to give us a surface that was actually just to be able to give it a little more rigidity and stability. We didn't just want to rely on the metal supports only. Other applications we can rely on metal supports and it's fine. But in this case, because of the fact that we built it up, we made it look thicker. We have a leg on one end that probably we can't see in this camera shot.
We have a leg over here.
But we do have a leg over here.
Same concept.
Same concept. So we just try to make sure that we engineer the proper structure underneath or the substrate. And there are many different ways to build these types of things.
For me, as a designer, and again, incorporating that aesthetic value, what are we trying to do? This is, for me, like a paintbrush. So I noticed that you have the mixed stones. There are no rules. We definitely have results, but there are no rules. We can literally incorporate any kind of value we want. So you do have to be clever about it. And you have to pay attention to the other elements that you're incorporating, like your cabinetry, your wall color, what color is your faucet, your sink, your appliances, your lighting, all of those elements. But this is the paintbrush. This is the area that we get to express our creativity. I love that you're sharing with us the different ways we can apply the product. I think that a lot of people don't understand how flexible stone is. I know that sounds weird, but right?
For sure. I mean, the other thing we did, and I give my design team, I give them all the credit in the world for what they've put together in here. We blended a marble from Turkey with an engineered stone or quartz in this application.
I love
so
it.
we blended natural stone with quartz, and we do that quite often. Sometimes we'll do a perimeter, a natural stone, maybe a leathered finished natural stone with a quartz surface on the island. Can be different, can be contrasting colors, can be similar. And people come in and ask all the time, well, what do you see? What is everybody doing?
Oh.
The answer is everybody's doing whatever they want to do. And they're really, and you said it's true. There are no rules. And I like that. There are results. And we find that all the time where it's always fun to be creative, to blend materials, blend finishes, blend surfaces, textures, all of those things that end up resulting in something that's unique for an individual in their home.
Well, you bring up a really good point. It used to be that we just thought of natural stone as being polished and shiny and smooth and a flat surface. But now, actually, to be honest, I don't even know how many selections of surface you have now. Name them for me.
No, I don't know if I'll get them all,
You have
leathered,
suede, matte,
yes, or honed. We call it honed. Yep, polished. Oh my gosh, we have a rock face where we can actually chisel the edge. So that's
your edge profile.
Yeah, which is kind of tries to match the leathered finish of a material.
Love that.
There's a thermal finish, which is it's basically we call it thermal or flamed, kind of the same thing, similar to leathered, but just a little bit different textured.
I don't even know if I know that.
Yeah, and we heat it up, and actually we do it in granite, and not all stones will react the same way, but traditional stones, it'll actually crackle, like the finish will crackle off, and it'll give you this a little bit slightly more rough finish. A lot of it's for exterior, like whether it's a bar or exterior pavers. A lot of projects downtown have thermal or flame finish granite for walking, high traffic areas.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I know there's so much to cover, but I also want to talk about the edge profile.
We offer three standard edges as part of our. So we have a quarter bevel here. Trying to see what else we have. A pencil round here, and then I believe our ease and polish is probably right here, I'm gonna guess.
You got
right
it.
There.
Yep.
Ease and polish here. Those are three standard edge profiles we offer all day long, every day. There's no upcharge for any of them. And then we have a slight upcharge when we get into a half bullnose, top and bottom round, which is here. A more traditional Cove DuPont edge, that's a slight upcharge. An OG edge, again, going in a more traditional vein. And then the triple pencil, not really something we do a lot of, but we have the tooling and we offer it. But occasionally we get that person that really wants a waterfall edge, not to be mistaken with a waterfall leg on the end of an island.
That's right.
Yeah. So those are, and there are others, and we actually can do some custom edges that we offer, Hollywood bevels and different unique things that a lot of people don't have the ability to do.
Well, I think it's interesting because we don't think much about what is the edge of my granite going to look like, or my hard surface going to look like when I'm finished. But the truth is that this does set the tone of what the overall outcome is going to be, the feeling, the aesthetic value, as we say, that it's going to have. Are we going to be a little contemporary? Are we going to be a little more traditional? Are we going to create artistic value and different applications? And when do we apply them? I think, though, and we're going to talk about this in our next series, but when the fabrication, or when we're making these edge profiles, there is definitely, you said custom, well, there's machine and there is man hand that we can do. And
sure,
there's things we do here in the shop, but also don't panic if it doesn't come to your home or your place of business exactly how you thought it would, because there are a lot of things that you can do in the field, right?
Every day we do. I mean, we try to do as little in the field as we can, because obviously, it's the complexity of it is a little more complex when we do it. But again, going back to my team of people that, from the moment you walk in the door to when we show up at your house, we have a bunch of great artisans that really take a lot of pride in what we do, all the way through our process. So yeah, there are things that we do in the field that we have to. There's some things that we have to apply in the field when we're wrapping something, when there are pieces that are mitered and we have to hit certain details that are really, really critical on the job site. And we can actually do that in the field and be very, very effective with it.
don't ever judge until the project is actually implemented and they walk away. I have so many people, they'll say, wait, that's not what we agreed on, but they're not done yet.
Yeah, not finished.
Take your time, breathe, and really the best part about it is walk away. Go away, go have lunch, go do whatever you need to do, and then come back for the end result. It's really the best way to do it. It's almost unnerving to watch. This stone is heavy. And
yeah.
So it's not just put the lid on, right?
Yeah.
It takes a lot, and it takes more than just one, or sometimes even more than two people.
Yeah, we have some projects we've worked on. Even recently, we have massive islands, like literally a full slab with laminated edges. You know, thing weighs like 1,500 pounds, and trying to figure a way to get it into your home. You know, it
can be a little tricky.
Yeah, and safety is a must. And I know we run into sometimes where people want us to take our shoes off when we come in the home, and when you're carrying big pieces and you're walking around in your socks.
Ooh,
not the greatest thing for my guys.
All right, Brad, here's my next question for you. So sinks, there are undermount sinks, there are farm sinks, there are top mount sinks like our traditional with the lip. And I know that each one of them is a new challenge for you.
Yeah, I mean, the farm sink is probably the easiest of the challenges for the most part. Because we're not really doing a cutout where we're having to pay attention to the size of the piece, the length, what the material is. We're basically just fitting around your farm sink on each side and behind it. Undermount sinks we do it all day long, every day. Again, some shapes can be tricky. Sometimes I know just to speak about some things to look out for. The dual mount sinks that you find in some of your big box stores that are priced really well, they can present a challenge for a fabricator because a lot of times there's not enough room in the cabinet, or we don't have enough room or enough of a front rail and a back rail because of how the dual mount sinks are made.
Double bowl.
Yeah, double bowl, dual mount, so you can be an undermount or a drop-in.
Yeah, okay, great, yeah.
So the undermount cutout is a little tricky, and we have to be creative in how we do that. So, and then drop-in or top mount sinks, that's just basically a cutout for us, and then the lip of the bowl sits over top. 90% of the bowls we do are undermounts, farm sinks.
Right.
They're even making some flush mount sinks or zero tolerance sinks those are a little tricky as well.
I love this. This is the number one question I always get. Laura, could I please have the remnant or the hole cut out?
Yeah.
I want to use it as a cutting board.
Yeah.
That's not a guarantee, right?
No, absolutely not. No.
That's my number one question. What
No.
do they do with that piece that the hole is? Right?
Usually it goes into the trash, and especially the way we cut our bowls here. We have two water jets here, and the water jet actually does the cutting. So we're actually piercing a hole through the middle of the cutout.
Oh.
And then so right away you're already eliminating most of the cutout.
Right.
And then we have to find a path all the way around the shape, and then we have to find an exit point. So those are not things that are easy for us to pull off.
That's all right. No worries.
Hey.
Everybody has their,
Right.
little nuances, but
And sometimes they break too. That's the other thing. Sometimes they break when.
that's probably what I hear
in
more
production.
than anything
Yeah.
is that they do break.
Sure.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to talk about the sink over here that you have, and it is this marble? What is
It is marble. That's a
Right.
marble from Turkey, glacier white, and we're really excited about what we created here.
Tell me about it. Let's see.
So we've actually milled into the surface a sloped sink drain, and so there's a drain assembly that it's not applied here in the showroom because I just have it sitting on another countertop, but there's a slot where the water will go, so everything's pitched to the slot, and then there's actually a drain assembly underneath where all the water flows to, and it's a standard hookup for a plumber. But the technology and how creative we can be with milling into the face of that and creating kind of this just sloped drain for a sink is just, it's so cool, and we're really excited about it. So we're making now that people see that here, we're selling a lot more of them because they see it and they're like, hey, this is really slick.
Well, I love it.
Yeah.
The only thing I can think about, though, is if I'm brushing my teeth and I'm spitting the toothpaste out,
Yeah.
you know, it's going to hit me back in the face. Yeah. Oh, no, I absolutely. Well, I love the creativity of it. And I love, aren't we in a place in our life right now where nothing is normal? Aren't we ready to adventure into new ways to discover what it is that we have at our fingertips and how we're going to help them enhance our lives? I absolutely love the creativity of what you're talking about. I'm done with traditional.
Yeah.
I want to expand. I want to evolve. I really want to just share with everyone that we are the creators of whatever we want.
Sure.
It is accessible to all of us. It used to be that, only, again, a lot of this we equated to money being very expensive, but that doesn't necessarily have to apply now, right?
It doesn't, but also to that point, I mean, you think about the world we're living in now where we're not all traveling and going everywhere like we once were.
Right.
And so these spaces in our home that we want to be special and different, we're willing to spend the money on it.
Yeah.
To give ourselves that, like, hey, I'm going to be at home. I love what I'm looking at. I want to create a space that I can enjoy. And these little elements are like just little treasures along the way that I think are just so unique and so cool and different.
They give me the goosebumps.
Yeah.
I love it. I absolutely love it. And it allows us to have the freedom to introduce you to our world. It really does. We didn't have that freedom before. I mean, we really are walking into a new time in our life. I'm excited about it. All right, Brad, you've been amazing. Again, I've absolutely loved this interaction. I love what we've shared, and I'm hoping this is going to be really useful and helpful for you when you are making some of these decisions yourself. But now you've got the right questions to ask, and don't ever be afraid to ask, because there's always an answer. And if we don't have it, we're going to go find it for you. And there's always a way to do what it is you want to do. We carry little magic wands in our back pockets. Oh, all right. Well, thanks again, Brad.
Thanks again for having me.